I'm telling women all the time, I'm like, you know what, that pile of laundry, that let the kids do it. And it doesn't matter if the baby's jammies are all thrown into a basket. It doesn't matter if their shirts are not folded the way you would do it. It doesn't matter. And I'm sitting here saying it, but I have to be super intentional still. I have to recognize that it's a fault that I have, that I cannot let go of those things, and I'm working on it. But what would be your best advice for that kind of a thing, is like letting them?
One of the first thing that comes to my mind, and it's not an exact answer, but I'm going to circle back to this, is don't make it about you. Don't make it about me. I have a daughter who came out as gay. She was 19, almost 20 years old. I come from a very a religious background that does not, this is not, I did not see this coming, and this is not something that's necessarily welcomed. It was never an issue with religion, or like I love her, I support her, it's not a problem. Like, she's incredible. It didn't change any of that, but I still had a level of a mourning process that I was going through because of the visions that I had for her. And I was mourning that, the life that I thought she would live, which, as it turns out, what she's creating is much better than anything I could have ever created, right? But we had a really relatively smooth process. I mean, it's painful. It's new territory for all of us. But I remember even just a year ago, she said something to me. She goes, Mom, I always felt loved by you and supported. I knew you were in my corner, but you still made it about you. I was like, okay, interesting. And for me, that's a victory, because she could tell me that and I didn't get butthurt by it. And we were able to have a really powerful, really meaningful conversation, because in my mind, I was like, well, you've known for 20 years, according to you, or like since you were 3. So whatever that is, at least 15 years, you knew this. I just found out. So I need some time. But when our kids aren't cleaning up their rooms, when they're not doing well in school, when they talk back to us, whatever it is, I mean, are we making it about us? Or are we really allowing them to do what they need to do to figure out who they are, to become the greatest versions of themselves? And of course, we need to have boundaries, and it needs to be accountability and all of those checks and balances. But at the end of the day, what really matters is their integrity, is their ability to tap in to their knowingness, to trust themselves, to make hard decisions, to do hard things. And sometimes we managing it, it's like the butterfly and the little, we want to go take that little caterpillar and take that cocoon off because it's just so much work. We want to make it easier for them, that little caterpillar. But what happens when we do that? That caterpillar becomes a butterfly that can't fly, that's weak. So to kind of circle back to your question, like, it's hard when you have young kids because you're in the logistics of laundry and homework and soccer and practicing and doing their jobs and all of that. But if we can really tap into connection over correction, and really not making it about us. If my kids succeed or they don't succeed, it's not a reflection of me. And when I could let that go, I mean, each one of my kids has taken a very different path. They're all very intuitive, kind. Um, they're giving back to society. They're strong-willed, but they're like like if they would have followed this prescribed path that I thought they needed to go on, they wouldn't be the extraordinary human beings that they are today. So I am so grateful that somewhere along the way we figured this out, because the more they can tap in and do things because they want to do it, not because they feel guilted into doing it or obligated or expected to do it, that is what we want for our kids. So if it means them living in squalor in a messy room because they're choosing that, shut the door and let them deal with it. If it means they don't have laundry, I mean, my son, we went out of town and I put my back out last week and there was no laundry happening at our house. So he had to do his laundry and deal with it and figure it out. And it's like, they can do a lot more than we give them credit, right? And so allowing them and trusting them to figure it out empowers them in a way that will change their entire life, versus us thinking that we know best and that we need to manage it. Because basically what we're saying when we're controlling them is, I don't trust you.